Hi, good morning. Thank you for joining my presentation today, that you choose my presentation. I will talk about machine learning. I know it's not the only one presentation on machine learning today, but I hope mine will be a bit different. I will not give you any introduction into what is machine learning. I guess you know it already. What is machine learning? What is AI? So I will give you some hints. What should you do before you start an AI machine learning project with a special case for quality assurance? So yeah, anyone knows these guys here? Yeah, you know. Probably you not know this guy here. Hinton, exactly. He's the person who introduced deep learning. Right? Everyone heard about deep learning, probably. At least, I guess. You should have heard about it. So I'm a data scientist. I'm doing data science for about 15 years now. I did machine learning before it was so popular, like it is not right now. And, well, what I did also in the past, I have developed some algorithms for skin cancer. So if you Google my name and put skin cancer, you can also find some of my papers on skin cancer diagnosis. And I hope they will be commercialized next year. There is something coming in this area. So yeah, now I'm the CTO and the founder of Codete since 2010. Just a short recap. Last year, I gave another talk on machine learning and our solution that we have developed at Codete on snapshot testing and machine learning used for snapshot testing. You may remember, some of you, and I promised you that it will be published as open source, and it is. You have the link here. You can download it. It is written in Java, and it's a tool for testing, for writing automated tests in Java using snapshot testing and some machine learning as well. So it's free. You can contribute to this project if you want to. So yeah, what is AI? AI is the new UI. AI is the new electricity. You may heard about it already. Everyone is talking about it. Everyone wants to do some AI. Do some machine learning in their own companies. How many of you do machine learning or have machine learning in your company? If you could just raise your hand. Not so many. Okay. Maybe the rest just failed with the AI project already, right? What is AI? What is machine learning? AI, usually it's something, yeah, go on. It's something that is on PowerPoint present day, right? If we talk about AI, it's usually something that is on PowerPoint. If you talk about machine learning, it is something that we develop using Python, R, Scala, Java, right? So AI usually means something very high level. We put it on slides because it's a buzzword, right? Yeah, buzzwords, right? AI, data science, blockchain, IoT, and so on. So many buzzwords, so many bubbles, and we are just going into the next bubble every year, right? 2 years ago, blockchain. 3 years ago, blockchain. And one of you invested in Bitcoin? Good for you that you haven't invested in Bitcoin. So now, anyone heard about blockchain? It's not so popular anymore. And the same will happen with machine learning. Right? It's not something that it will not be a surprise when machine learning will be not so popular like it is right now. It will stabilize, the hype will be a bit lower, and we will make more projects that actually make sense. Why? Because of the hype, many projects we try to use machine learning because it's cool. The same like with blockchain. We try to apply blockchain for many use cases, and for most of them, it didn't work. Just to give you some numbers. So as you may see, 40% of AI startups in Europe doesn't use AI, doesn't use machine learning. They say they do, but actually it's It's not something that you can call an AI or machine learning. 40% of startups, you can imagine, it's almost a half of startups that say that are actually doing AI, they don't do AI. Why they say they do AI? Because if they come to an investor and say, okay, we do AI, our solution is AI-based, they get from 15 up to 50% more funding because of that. Right? So they say it's an AI startup, but actually it's not really AI, but they try to convince the investor that they are an AI company. You can also find, because our company is, we have an office also in Berlin, and there are many, many startups. 5% of the startups actually are based in Berlin, and you can find companies that actually are data science, blockchain, IoT, cloud startup, right? They try to combine more buzzwords to get more funding. It doesn't work. I mean, in some cases it works when you use AI, but in many cases, if you combine more and more buzzword, it doesn't work so well. But still, they use buzzword to get more funding. Well, about 25% of companies fails on about 50% of the AI projects. Anyone of you here failed already an AI project? Yeah, one person only? Okay. Trust me, it is a research. It's proven that many actually of the projects are failing for many reasons. I will tell you why they are failing in a minute. But it's surprising that you use AI, you try to increase your revenues or decrease your costs or extend your business, adding new product, for example, and you fail. One of the reasons is that actually about 77% of C-level managers, they have nothing to do really. I mean, they say they have challenge introducing adapted machine learning or big data into the project, but actually only 5% of the managers are really related to some technology. So the rest of them are about processes, people, and maybe this could be also a reason why it's going in the wrong direction, why it's failing so often. So 5%. And another research, Gartner, did a research and they say 85% of AI project fails. 85% of the project fails. It's a huge number. Right? 85% of projects. So why they are failing? One of the reasons is about the C-level managers that I mentioned you before, but the companies do many failures and do some, well, they are going in the wrong direction, take the wrong decision, and I will show you 5 most common failures that they do fail doing an AI project. Okay, so let me tell you a true story about the girl with a red cap and a grandma. You may know this story, right? Some of you at least. And there was the grandma, there was the challenge, right? Deliver the cake and the wine to the grandma, and there was also the big bad wolf. You may know it. And, well, the question here, how to distinguish the wolf from the grandpa? Right? This is the challenge of this story. It's, well, for us human, it should be something easy, right? But actually for the little girl, it wasn't so easy. You know it from the story, I guess. This story was written in the 17th century. Unfortunately, this little girl couldn't use AI to recognize the bad wolf and the grandma, unfortunately. Well, probably if it would be today, probably this little girl would be already an entrepreneur with a startup and a face recognition solution for that. So, based on that, there was a research done trying to figure out if there was a wolf or a husky on a picture. There are some researchers, they did this kind of research. you know that the differences between a husky dog and a wolf are not so, they are quite similar for most people. They look similar. But what they did, they have developed an algorithm and reached an accuracy of 90%, about 90%. And then they checked why it's only 90%, or how they reached 90%. You can imagine that they check it and they figure out that, well, the data that they provided, wolves usually, you can find it in the wild, in the forest, for example. And they figure out that the pictures, that the algorithm as the main feature for recognizing if it's a wolf or a husky, took the background. Because the wolves usually, in the photos, the images of wolves was taken with a snow behind it. So the white picture means it's a wolf. Not the eyes, not the ears, but the background, right? And there are many cases known where the algorithm is not really working in a proper way, because it's, well, I will not tell you the whole story about the project that they have developed in the US, the police. They use a database of criminals, and they feed it the algorithm for face recognition. And the algorithm actually was trained in a way that actually most of the people of a specific skin color was treated as criminals because the data set was actually not well prepared. Right? So it's even worse. Obviously, they fixed it then, but this is why the project fails, because the data is not prepared properly. So this is the first failure. Other thing is that there are simpler methods to solve this kind of issues. Couple of months ago, there one customer approached our company asking, okay, could you please develop a machine learning solution for our problem? They described the problem that it was about a bot, writing a bot that will actually get some data from emails. So NLP with machine learning together. So we took the data, sample data set, and did a reset and figure out, well, you can use NLP, you can use AI, some machine learning, but actually it's easier to do it with regular expressions, right? To do the same, to solve this problem, and you will get 100% accuracy using regular expressions. So we suggest not to use machine learning. This is what we told the customer. And the customer said, well, yes, we know, but we still want to do it with machine learning. So we asked, why? You may not get 100% of accuracy. Yes, we know, but we got funding from the government, and we told them that we will develop a machine learning solution. So we resigned from this contract, from this project, because we found that it's not the right way to do machine learning, right? So that's something that you may find also in your companies, and try to use simpler methods if it's possible instead of machine learning, because machine learning will not give you 100% in most cases. Yeah, machine learning at all costs. It's also combined with this example where we try to say, okay, we try to make machine learning because we would like to tell outside for marketing, for PR, that we are an AI-based company. And that's also another problem, because companies like banks, there are many banks outside, and some of the banking companies, they call themselves now AI-based company. Why? Because they use linear regression. Linear regression is a simple machine learning method, but actually they use it for 30 years now. But now they become an AI-based company, right? An AI company. Using machine learning doesn't make your company an AI company. So to do so, we need to apply some other, Docker. Here we go. To become an AI company, you need to have a strategy, how to get the data, how to collect the data, how to actually do the automation, right? What you would like really to do with machine learning. Maybe there are simpler methods than machine learning. And also have some structure, so people that actually will do the machine learning for you. not just, okay, let's get some free guys, data scientists from market. Go on, let's do some machine learning, right? That's not that's not a good idea. How to do it? I'm sorry for the Docker. So the life cycle of a machine learning or data science project usually consists of 4 steps. Actually, there can be more, but there are 4 major steps, like data wrangling, model training, validation, and checking if whatever we have done get some new information from our solution. The problem is that many companies, they try to combine Scrum, that is the most popular, or Agile methodology, that's the most popular in approach, and try to apply data science into it. And there are some managers that I know, not in our company, but in some other companies, they try to say, okay guys, let's improve our accuracy by 1% each week or each iteration. Is it doable? Not really. We have one customer from Berlin that I talked with the head of data science, and he told me, okay, guys, if you will increase our accuracy by 0.1, we will give you so much money if you, how much you want actually, because this will be a huge increase. What we do also, we work with a hedge fund based in New York, where we also improve the accuracy, or actually not only accuracy, do the denoising work, but actually increasing by 0 point something the accuracy, sensitivity, specificity will result in a huge amount of more money for the company. So that's something that is important. And it's very hard to say, okay, how better we will be in the next iteration. It's not something that the data science will tell you. And trying to judge from the top, saying, okay, you should reach this and this accuracy, it's wrong. And second thing, accuracy is I wouldn't say it's the worst quality metric, but it's not the appropriate. I mean, if you can use a quality metric to measure how good your data science team is, you should use sensitivity, specificity, F1 score, and other metrics, not accuracy. Accuracy will not tell you everything. Just to give you an example, okay, I have developed a skin cancer method, right, in my PhD. Let's imagine you're a doctor and a patient is coming to you. You can say, you have a cancer or not, right? So you can cut it off, the mole, and you check if it's really a cancer, if there are cancer cells in it or not. The thing is that you can be super accurate, like 95% accurate as a doctor. But why not 100? Because skin cancer as a illness, it's quite rare. It's not so popular. That's good. But for people, 95% of accuracy of the doctor is not good enough, because the specificity will be high, will be 100%, where the sensitivity will be close to 0, which means the doctor is good at saying it's not a cancer, but he's not good at saying that it's a cancer, recognizing cancer. So for the patient, if doctor will tell you it's not a cancer, but actually it is a cancer, you're in trouble, right? So try to use not accuracy as the only metric. Try to use different metrics to check your quality of the product, of your team as well. And try to divide tasks into separate ones, like data acquisition, model strategy, pre-processing. That's also a very important part, the pre-processing part. So how to do a proper AI transformation of your company? So if you are a company, you would like to be an AI company. So based on Andrew Ng, some of you may know this person. He's quite popular in machine learning, and he introduced 5 steps here. How to transform. So first of all, you should actually build some proof of concept projects, some small one, and figure out if this work. Why? Fail fast. If you want to do something with machine learning, try to figure out if it makes sense in a couple of weeks instead of a couple of months or years. Right? It's not good from a company point of view to invest in a solution, build it for 1 year, and then you figure out, well, it doesn't work. It's a lot of money that you spent that you could actually spend on something different. Build your AI team. By building AI team doesn't mean, okay, let's get some free data scientists from the market and let's do some work. Now, there are specific roles. There are people who are good at modeling, on getting data, pre-processing, and so on. So you need to have also specific people in the team. Provide AI trainings as well. Machine learning now is changing all the time. If you would like to follow the recent trends, I can recommend you the NIPS conference. It's a conference, actually, it will be in December or end of November this year. The people like Hinton, like LeCun, they published there. They introduced new architectures there. And I recommend you to follow these guys. So develop an AI strategy, what we like to do, how we like to proceed with our data, right? And build, obviously, a communication channel, internal, external, because some of the people could be also outside of the company as well. Roles. Do you know Netflix? Everyone knows Netflix. So they have 9 different roles for machine learning, for data science. Do we need to have 9 different roles in our company? Not really. We don't need to have all nine roles. We can have less than 9 roles. We can have just someone for building the models. We can have someone for getting the data, right? Someone that knows the big data tools like Kafka, like Hadoop, and so on. And someone who is more on the scientist side, who's like invent or try to change the current architecture that we have. Yeah, so failure number 4, transformation done wrong. Right? As I mentioned to you regarding the banking companies, we try to go in this direction by any cost and trying to transform this company by hiring some data scientists. And actually in Cracow, here, in Poland, there are many companies that actually do in this way. Try to hire some data scientists and then, okay, do the data science stuff. And that's it. So they have to really not really an idea how to proceed, how to make it work. That's a very important part. Due diligence. What should you do before you start a data science, AI, machine learning project? So first of all, you need to ask you a couple of questions. On the left, on your left, what AI can do. So you should ask someone that is, know the machine learning part, and ask, what is really possible? Do we have methods to solve the given problem? And second, get a domain expert that will tell you, okay, this and this problem, if it's solved, it will get us more money, or decrease the cost, for example. And actually, only in the middle are the solutions that we should actually provide, that we should develop. The rest is a project that will actually fail. That's why 85% of the projects fail, because people don't ask these questions before they start. What kind of questions do we have here? So, again, is it possible to solve this problem with machine learning? So you need to have someone that knows machine learning methods and is able to say, okay, that makes sense, that doesn't make sense. This is something that we can do with machine learning. So we have 2 parts, the technical part and the business part. Secondly, how much and what kind of data is needed? That's a big problem. Most of the company doesn't have enough data. Obviously, I'm not telling about companies that say they are big data companies, but actually they have data in gigabytes, right? And they call themselves a big data company. So we need to get data. When I started my PhD in 2007, my problem was actually not what kind of method I should use, but where can I get the data from? And what I did, I got my colleague from the university, he got a data set of about 40 images. And I was in every place in Cracow that collected skin images. And there was only one company who shared the data set. It was about 5,000 images. So you can imagine his face when I came to him, okay, you have 45 or something. And like, oh, here you have 5,000 more, right? It was very, very hard to get data. Now it's possible when it comes to skin cancer. ISIC, it's a data set that it contains about 26,000 of images. So it's easy and it's going in this direction to actually to publish the data sets. But many companies doesn't do it. So you need to think about it actually from scratch, how to get the data. Not only what kind of machine learning methods we should use, but actually how we can get the data. So build a whole structure, again, using big data usually tools. The thing is, do we have the capacity? Do we have developers? Do we have data scientists to develop it? Right? Because data science is just one part, but it also needs some other developers and a kind of developers to actually deliver the solution to as a product. So do we have the people to do it? And from the business point of view, we also should ask a question, again, will we decrease or decrease the cost, increase the revenue, or will we set up a new product in our company? And high expectation. So yeah, that's another thing. So we try to use machine learning in the cases where it's not really, it doesn't make sense, or we try to follow the hype, like I mentioned with the bot. Or there is also another story that I know from a head of data science, from a director from a company from Silicon Valley, that he mentioned that another customer came to him asking about a machine learning solution. And they said, okay, we will develop it. They have developed it. They have tested it, deployed. Everything is working well. But after a couple of months, they figure out, okay, let's check how does it work. And they figure out it's the bot. It was a bot that was actually replying to emails. Someone was sending an email and it's replying, kind of a customer support solution. And it was replying 50 emails per day. 50. And they came back to the customer asking, okay, why have you spent so much money, so many $1 million to develop the solution, to just, to reply to 50 emails per day? If you could hire one person full time, this person could do it in 1, maybe 2 hours per day, and the rest of the time the person could spend on something different. Why did you spend so much money on that? And he said, yeah, you are right. We spent a lot of money. We know that we spent a lot of money for something that, well, we could actually do it cheaper, but now we can say we are an AI company. So they invest a lot of money for PR, for marketing. It makes sense from other point of view if they get more, for example, developers on site. That's something that makes sense. I mean, it depends obviously on the cost, how much they spend for, to be able to say that they do AI. But most companies actually don't really do that. I mean, they take the data scientists, they take developers saying, okay, we do AI, we do machine learning, we do data science, but at the end you are doing some maintenance. One more thing that I would like also to tell you about data science role. Any data scientists here? No one? Just me? Okay. So data science role or machine learning engineer, you will not, for most of the time, you will not actually develop a machine learning model or train it. For most of the time, you will do data pre-processing. That's something that you can be surprised a bit. I was a couple of months ago in Hamburg giving a training for a company, quite known company in chemistry industry, and they asked us for our AI training, for machine learning training, and we said, okay, let's have a call, let's discuss what actually you need. And after the discussion, we figure out, well, they don't need our machine learning training. They need a data pre-processing training. And 3 days training that we did on pandas, on how to pre-process the data, how to get value from the data. So it's not always about building a model, but getting the value from the data before we put it to the machine learning model. So clean it, denoise it, get some features from it. So the question is, do you still want to introduce machine learning into your QA project? Why it's failing so often? You should actually keep trying, but please be aware that the hype is not what you're looking for. I mean, don't do it because it's cool. Don't do it because it's you think it makes sense. Try to fail fast. Try to build something, a proof of concept, instead of a solution like building the whole team and trying to go and build a whole solution from the beginning and trying to solve something that you don't even know if it's really doable with machine learning. So just a few notes, some hints before I finish. Don't use machine learning because of the hype. Do the diligence before you start the machine learning project. That's also very important, especially from the managers. It's important to do a due diligence before you start. Again, machine learning is not always the best solution for everything. Sometimes there are simple solutions that solve your problem. And they exist for, 30 years, 40 years. You don't need to use machine learning for that. It's sad that I'm saying it. I'm a data scientist. I should actually say, okay, let's use machine learning everywhere where it's possible. But it's not true. I mean, I would lie to you that it's if I would say that it's a solution for everything. It's not. And again, trying to if you expect as a manager to get an increase in accuracy, you should expect that, but try to be not too optimistic in machine learning. Sometimes getting 1% of accuracy higher or any other metric, it's very, very difficult or even impossible. You know the Netflix challenge from 2006? Oh, it was 2008, I'm sorry, I guess. What they did, they published the data set, and I guess it was $100,000. They said, everyone who will get a higher accuracy than we got will get this money. Do you know how many years it took for someone to get a higher accuracy? 2 years. 2 years. At the end, they didn't use this solution because of the data set that they provided. It was just wrong. I mean, not proper, because after they used the whole data set they have, they checked that actually the solution wasn't really so good. But for this sample data set, it was better than the one that they got with the solution internally. After that, Kaggle, if you know, was introduced, and now every data scientist, or most of the data scientists, are using Kaggle as a place for challenges. Okay, so if you want to learn more or hear about more, I'm also giving O'Reilly trainings. You may know O'Reilly. It's a company with the books, with the animals, on November 8 and on November 19 about chatbots. So find me there if you want to know more and develop something in Python, not hear only what's on the slides. Thank you.
Thank you, Karol, so much. And now, again, it's a time for questions to you. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure. I'm just.
Okay, so can I understand women?
I think the right answer is it depends. Right? It's the most diplomatic answer. Hard to answer properly, not to say anything wrong. But let me give you an example on Alexa, which, well, it's not a woman, it's a AI woman, let's say. And if you use British accent and say it's slow, Alexa will not recognize your speech, what you're telling. So just to give you an exercise, I mean, homework for you. If you have Alexa, if you use Alexa, try to speak with a British accent or use a speech generation tool that speaks in British and use the accent and speak slow, and it's hard to understand. So it may not work in some cases, also with humans. The same as with maths.
Hopefully. Okay, the next question is, how do your presentation apply to QA?
That's true. It's applied to every, not only quality assurance. Not only quality assurance, it applies to every domain, not just QA. This is a QA conference, so I try to beat as much QA as possible. It's more dedicated to your managers, to the QA managers actually, that to avoid the issues that they have, because you, as a QAs, will sooner or later will use machine learning in your projects, and that's that. I'm just giving you some advices how not to do it, or how to avoid the mistakes that you will do. Also using our tool that use machine learning that I mentioned at the beginning.
All right. So right now the third question is, why all these advanced analyze techniques are so stubbornly called AI? Shouldn't term AI be reserved for future artificial intelligence similar to human?
There was a discussion panel today at 2:15, I guess. I will also attend this panel, and that's true. AI is, we can divide AI into two different AIs. The narrow one and the general one. The one that is actually AI similar to human, we talk about general AI, and there I put Elon Musk there because he published a letter a couple of years ago that AI will conquer us in some near future if we go in this direction. That's not really true in my opinion, but it may happen if we develop a general AI, so AGI. So far, we haven't develop any AGI solution, and we have developed many ANI solutions, so narrow AI solutions. So it could be, but that's why we divide it now to AGI, ANI. ANI is not like human, AGI is like human, so AGI general use AI. That's more like human and intelligent, and ANI is more like narrow. That's why many people simplify that and say, oh, just AI for any kind of intelligence. But as I mentioned before, machine learning is only the one way to develop AI. There are many other ways, but machine learning is the best one. Like democracy, it's not the best one, but so far no one found something that is better than democracy. So that's the thing. And if someone tell you that combining many methods, machine learning method will actually provide you a AGI, it's not true.
Okay, we also have here, as was mentioned before, a book as a gift for the best question. So, Karol?
I think the last one
was
the most concrete, I think.
So, who asked the third question here? Raise your hand. Okay, the book goes to you. And in the meantime, bravo, applause. I think we still have some time for the fourth question, an extra question. Let's see what we've got here. Will AI, ML, kill software testing, and why?
Yeah. Again, the right answer is it depends. So yes, we will automate more and more using machine learning, using pattern recognition. And some of the work may be automated, so there will be less work needed for QAs. It's like with the taxi drivers, like we can just get rid of taxi drivers and replace them with autonomous cars. I don't think we will totally replace the QAs, automated QAs in the future, but we will at least partially replace some of the work that they do with some machine learning solution. The framework that I gave you the link for at the beginning, it is used to reduce the amount the number of QAs needed in the team to do the same work, just using this solution. So instead of 4, you can use 1 or 2 QA. So you will spend less money on that. And money is always the argument for the managers to do something in some direction. If someone tells you, okay, we will spend more money and get the same quality, obviously it needs to be proven. But if you prove it, then this industry will go in this direction. So yes, we will, not totally, so don't worry, you will not lose your job. And if you lose your job, you may get another one that is more related to AI, related to machine learning, that we don't even know now that exists. And now it doesn't exist, but in the future it may exist. So partially, I think.
Okay, thank you very, very much for this presentation and discussion. We're gonna have in the afternoon also a discussion panel that we would like to invite you to. And for now, thank you very much. One more time, big applause.